Hi friends, welcome to PSC Collegiate English. Today let us look at the essay of Friendship by Francis Bacon. Let us look at the main ideas of the essay. Bacon says, he who can spend all his time in solitude is either a wild beast or a god. There may be some persons who take to solitude for certain spiritual reasons, although spiritual reasons advanced by these persons may not be genuine. Here, Bacon is speaking about the idea of friendship. So, before getting into the concept of friendship, he is speaking about solitude, about the people who love to spend their time in solitude. One sort of persons must be gods, he says, and he mocks. Otherwise, there might be people who are beasts. Only these people would love to spend their time in solitude. Normal people would not do so. So Bacon is giving some examples of some famous personalities like Epimenides, Numa, Empedocles and Apollonius. They claimed that their solitude enabled them to lead a nobler or a spiritually exalted life. The person who has no true friends is like a man living in wilderness. So that is what Bacon opines about solitude. Uses of friendship. Let us see what are the uses of friendship according to Bacon. There are several uses of friendship. The principal use of friendship is that it enables a man to give an outlet to his feelings and emotions. If a man has a friend, he can communicate to him all his sorrows, joys, fear, hopes, etc. and thus obtain relief. The second use is even kings and monarchs have been known to make friends. Because of this, in a necessity, they had to choose friends from amongst those lower than themselves in rank or status, but they did not mind that. Now, Bacon is citing examples of kings to tell us that even kings chose friends because of this inner necessity. They did not even mind to make friendship with people who were below their status. Sulla made friends with Pompey even though subsequently Pompey found it impossible to adopt a defiant manner towards him. That's first example, Sulla's example. Second is Julius Caesar's example. Julius Caesar made friends with Decimus Brutus even though the latter ultimately joined the conspiracy against him. Now there is a third example of Augustus. Augustus became so intimate with Agrippa that he was urged by a closer advisor to offer his daughter Julia to Agrippa. Similarly, Tiberius Caesar became very intimate with Sejanus and Septimius Severus with Plautianus. Nor were these rulers and emperors weak-minded people needing friends to maintain their morale. They were all men of strength of mind, but they found their lives incomplete without friendship. So first, Bacon has spoken about solitude, then he spoke about uses of friendship, and now he is giving us examples of great kings who had great friendship with the people who were lower than their status. Now, the next point that Bacon mentions is how are people living without friends? Persons who do not have friends will not know to whom they should confide their secrets. If a man keeps his secrets to himself, he will be living under a severe mental strain. Hardy and Louis XI were among those who kept their secrets to themselves and who, as a consequence, suffered great mental agony. Those who have no friends will eat into their own hearts. So, Bacon has spoken about the people who do not have friends and what their sufferings were. Next point is, he is speaking with friends, what are the advantages and disadvantages in life. He who has friends will multiply his joy and diminish his grief. A man's joy is greatly increased when he speaks about it to his friend. And likewise, his grief is halved when he imparts it to a friend. Friendship is useful not only for one's emotional health, it also enables a man to understand things more clearly. In the course of conversation with a friend, a man's ideas take better shape and a man's mind becomes clearer than before. When he shares thoughts to a friend, a man becomes more sure of himself. the advice that a man receives from his friend is more sound. So these are the benefits. Like if he is happy, the friends will make him happier. If he is sad, then the grief would be halved once we share it to our friends. Similarly, it is not only for emotional health but also to understand things clearly. Once you have a conference with friends, you understand things better. The next point is, the opinion that a man forms in the basis of his own judgment is like the opinion that a man would form on the basis of view of a flatterer. Only the counsel obtained from a friend is reliable and therefore useful. Likewise, the admonition of a friend is very useful to maintain the health of mind. So this is what Bacon says, that if you are considering only your opinion, only your selfish opinion, then you might not be guided in the right way, because one cannot think faulty about oneself. So in order to see the real picture, we need somebody to show us the mirror. That is why we need friends. This is Bacon's opinion. Men who have no friends to whom they can communicate their thought often commit gross errors. The good advice of a friend is of great help to a man in setting his business straight. There is no use taking counsel by pieces. In other words, one should not approach different persons for advice in different manners. It is better always to consult the same man in all manners, but this man should be a sincere friend. If a man approaches different persons for advice in different matters, he will receive advice that is partly useful and partly harmful, because none of these persons fully understand the mind and circumstances of the man who has sought the advice. In short, depending upon scattered counsels will mislead a man. So this is what Bacon says about with friends. Let me just sum it up for you. If a person has friends, if he is happy, he becomes happier. If he has grief, that diminishes. That is first point. Second is, friendship is needed for emotional health. That is, if you are thinking about a prospective business, if you talk to a friend, he would give you better ideas. That was point number 2. And the third point is, if you are considering only your opinion, if you are thinking whatever I am thinking is right, you might not be right always. So you need a friend to show you the mirror. That is the point number 3. And fourth is, you must not go to different persons for advice. For example, if you have a family doctor to whom you might be consulting, that particular doctor might know all your ailments, might know all your circumstances. If you keep on going to different doctors, they might not give you correct medicine. So the same applies to friends. You must share your problems and your happiness with one particular person. Only that particular person know you in complete. So these are the 4 points. Advantage of friendship. There is yet another great advantage of friendship. There are many things which a man himself cannot do, but which can be done on his behalf by his friend. Okay, a man may die without being able to achieve the fulfillment of some of his desires. If he has a friend, the friend would make every possible effort to complete the uncompleted task of the dead man and to tie up many loose threads left behind by him. So Bacon is giving some examples of such circumstances when there should be somebody on your behalf to talk from your behalf. That is, for example, if a person is dead, the dead man cannot speak, so there must be his friend who is willing to fulfill the dead man's desires. That is one example. The second is, one cannot say or do without causing himself a considerate embarrassment. For instance, a man cannot speak of his own merit with sufficient emphasis, and he cannot beg a favor. When a man cannot speak in his own person, he can ask his friend to speak on his behalf. Again, a man cannot speak freely and without inhibitions to all his relatives. In such cases, a friend can speak on his behalf. So, Bacon has given the second instance. The very first instance was, if a person dies and he has left some desires, unfulfilled desires, he needs a friend to fulfill him. That was point number 1. And point number 2, one cannot praise oneself. You cannot go on saying, okay, I am good at this, I am good at that. So you need somebody else on your behalf to speak about you. In that circumstance, one needs a friend. Third point, If a man cannot do everything himself, or if he does not have a friend to help him in accomplishing various things, he would better quit this world. So Bacon is so staunch in the idea that a person should have a friend. If you do not have a friend, it's not worth living. This is what Bacon says. Coming to critical comments, here in the essay is one of the most familiar subjects in the world, that is friendship. If love is most common experience of mankind, friendship comes only second. Friendship enables us to give an outlet to our suppressed feelings. He tells us the principal uses of a friendly feelings. Friendship is an emotional necessity, and life without friendship is incomplete. A discussion with a friend often clarifies one's understanding. The advice given by a friend is much more reliable than a man's own judgment. So, in this paragraph, we are giving the summation of all the ideas conveyed by Bacon. A friend is always a good advisor because he is thoroughly familiar with our circumstances and working of our minds. Finally, there are many things which a man cannot himself say or do, but which can easily be said or done by a friend. All these are sound observations on the subject of friendship. Okay. It may, however, be pointed that Bacon examines friendship purely from the point of view of utility. He is viewing it from utility point of view, that is from usefulness alone. Bacon is not looking at friendship as a sacrifice or without utility, without any purpose, purposeless friendship just for the sake of friendship or just for the sake of love of that person. From that point of view, Bacon is not watching. He is using friendship just as a utility tool. He does not emphasize either the emotional or moral aspects of friendship. He completely ignores the fact that friendship satisfies a natural urge in human being, and that even if a friend were not useful in the worldly sense, he would still be a great consolation in life and a great source of inspiration. Okay. Therefore, Bacon's approach to friendship is purely worldly and utilitarian. So that is, we can say, that is a drawback from Bacon's side. Once we accept this limitation, we must recognize Bacon's excellent treatment on the subject. He illustrates his idea with abundant historical examples. The essay is full of allusions to philosophers and historical personalities, like we have seen Epimendes, Numa, Empedocles, Sulla, Julius Caesar, Tiberius Caesar, Louis the 11th, and so on. These illustrations not only make and reinforce the argument, but also broaden the scope of the essay and enrich it from literary point of view. Okay. The various allusions and quotations show Bacon's learning and his ready mind. Allusions and quotations seem to be at his fingertips. His habit of introducing Latin quotations is also illustrated in this essay. Although this essay is much longer than many of other essays on popular subjects, it offers a clear example of Bacon's condensed style of writing. Friends, please note, here we are speaking about style of Bacon. Bacon always uses condensed style, aphoristic style. So from this part onwards you can give examples. The essay illustrates Bacon's habit of exercising the maximum economy of words in expressing his ideas. Here are some of the generalizations that could easily be memorized and quoted when occasion demands. So these four. First one, for a crowd is not company, and faces are but a gallery of pictures, and talk but a tinkling cymbal where there is no love. So that's first quotation. Second, those that want friends to open themselves unto are cannibals of their own hearts, unquote. Third one, for there is no man that imparteth joy to his friends, joyeth the more, and no man that imparteth his grief to his friend, but he grieveth the less, unquote. Fourth one, I quote, for there is no such flatterer as is a man's self, and there is no such remedy against flattery of man's self as liberty of a friend, unquote. So these are the 4 points. Okay friends, so that's it for this particular essay. I think I have given ample points for this particular essay of Friendship by Bacon. If you want me to take any other portion or related to criticism, be it poetry or anything else, please do comment in the comment box. Thank you so much.